my dad, for me, like my dad obviously is my biggest mentor. Not only because of the fact that he showed me what it was like to be real and to like take responsibility. Like when the whole thing went down with the cocaine addiction, like I had to go to my dad's mom's house. So I woke up one morning, my dad would go on these business trips, right? Like a few days long. And the last time I think was the time when my dad fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into a ditch. Thank God nothing happened. No cops ever found out, nothing like that. But I woke up and, I was sleeping in my mom's bed and my sister was with me, and my sister was like much younger. I was like 8 or 9. And she's like, we might have to move into an apartment. I might be divorcing your father, like all this stuff. And so we went to my grandmother's little apartment right by Miami International Airport, tiny little apartment. And they left me and my sister in the room, and my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom, and my dad were in the apartment talking stuff over. And then a few hours passed, and my dad takes me into the parking lot, and just, he's scruffy. He hasn't shaved, and I don't know what's going on. And he's like, he's just apologizing, crying to me. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what was going on yet, but I did find out the next morning when we were back home, and I woke up. It was probably a Saturday or Sunday morning. I went to go watch cartoons, and my dad is sleeping on the couch because my mom put him on the couch. And he's like, "Papi, come here." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I'm addicted to cocaine." I was like, "What?"
And you're how old again?
I was like 9.
Wow.
And he tells me this, and I'm like thinking to myself, I swear I still remember this. I'm like, why didn't you just say no? Like, because everything was just say no, just say no. Like, you remember the 80s and the 90s, like, just say no to drugs. Like, all you got to do is say no. Like, why did you not just say no? And so he taught me that. And then like that New Year's, we went to a New Year's Eve thing at my church. And again, like, he cried and he was like, "I'm so sorry." And then he became the best dad ever. So he taught me that, which I think is super important, to be vulnerable and to own up to your stuff. And, we only had one car. We were bankrupt. We didn't have any money. My mom would take him to work. Then she'd pick him up, take him to outpatient, all that stuff. And, he handled his business, man. And so he taught me that. He taught me to be a hard worker. He was always, he also, those later years, he made it a point to always like point out when people were getting drunk, when people were like doing drugs and stuff. Like, you see that guy, he's such an idiot. Look at him. Look at how he's acting right now. Or you see that guy, he doesn't work. He's what we call un cero a la izquierda, which means in Spanish, it means to the left of zero. So he's negative. Wow. Like, he's not a real man. A real man provides for his family. And my dad, to this day, man, he wakes up every single morning. Well, not anymore because my mom just retired this year, but he woke up every single morning. He would spray down the car. He would turn it on. He would put the air on. He would always fill up her tank. When she got home from work, he was the one who had dinner ready for her. So he showed me how to be a servant leader, So, I mean, I think those were some really big influences for me back then.